What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to 2 Pixel Wide. Today what I wanted to do is actually do a really quick review of something that I bought for myself specifically for school. I've been going to school lately, as I'm sure everybody knows by now, and what I wanted to do is really take control of a lot of the organization in my life. Last semester, I found I was getting really disorganized by all the notebooks I had and all the different papers that I have. You know, you're getting handouts and you're getting this and you're getting that. What I wanted to do is really consolidate all of my notes and all of my things and everything that I was doing for my course into one central location. And I thought the best way to do that was to go paperless. So what I did is I basically just went out and got myself an iPad. This is the iPad Pro 9.7 inch. It is not the gigantic 12-inch iPad, it's the smaller version of the iPad Pro. And I also got myself the Apple Pencil. Now, for a really quick review of this, because I don't want to get too in-depth. If you want to get really in-depth into this, you can find another tech website thing. This is more of a vlog sort of thing. But basically, this iPad works really well. It has a really great camera. It has the same camera, I believe, as the iPhone 6s. It also has the jutting out camera that the iPhone 6s had. And you can tell it's the iPhone 6 because it juts out like that. It doesn't have the real nice jut of the iPhone 7. The iPhone 7, they sort of taper the edges a little bit and it's just a little cleaner look. So it's a really good camera, and it also adds the flash, which the iPads have never had before. So it actually has a flash that you can use to take pictures, and it actually takes really great pictures. It takes really wonderful pictures, as you can see here. It's very thin, it's very light, it's a very nice looking iPad. Of course, it's a very well made machine. You know, like I said, the camera's really good. It has 4 different speakers. It has 2 on each side here, as you can see. And all in all, it's basically just an iPad Air. It has most of the same features that an iPad Air does. The only real difference is, like I said, is it has these speakers on the top of it. And the speakers actually play a lot louder than an iPad Air. It's a little quicker than iPad Air because it has that whatever chip in it. It has the fast one. I don't know. And it's just a really quick, really well working iPad. My only real complaint about it, honestly, is the fact that it really is, in a lot of ways, just an iPad Air. And if you're not going to use the pencil with it, then really there's no real reason not to get the iPad Air, because the iPad Air is significantly cheaper than the iPad Pro. I'm kind of having a hard time understanding why the iPad Pro 9.7 even exists. Because when they announced the iPad Pro, it was this gigantic tablet that had a pencil, and you could, you know, or it doesn't come with the pencil, you have to pay a ridiculous amount of money for the pencil. But when they announced the iPad Pro was this new version of the iPad. It was a gigantic version of the iPad, and when they came out with the 9.7 inch, it's the same body as an iPad Air. It's a little quicker than the iPad Air. It has a slightly better camera than the iPad Air. It sounds a little better than the iPad Air, but really, this should be an iPad Air 3, not an iPad Pro, because it really doesn't do a whole lot more than what an iPad Air can do. So really, why does this exist? It's so it can be more expensive, honestly, because this thing is ridiculous. Between this and this, I spent nearly $1,000 buying these 2 things. Just these 2 things. That doesn't even include the case, which is a ridiculous price for anything. The only reason I had to buy an iPad Pro is because the iPad Pro is the only thing that works with the pencil. You can't just go out and buy an iPad Air and buy a pencil and have it work, which is ridiculous, because you went out and you priced out an iPad Air 2 and an Apple Pencil. It's around $600 some odd, whereas you have to buy the Pro, which cranks it up to nearly $1,000 Canadian, which is absurd in every single way. It is absolutely absurd how much this costs, considering really the 9.7 inch iPad Pro shouldn't even exist. They should have just added pencil functionality to the Air and call it a day. So that's my biggest complaint about it, because everything else about it works so well. I almost wish it wasn't like this, because I'd rather not have anything bad to say about it, because it works so well. I can actually just sit there and take notes. The writing on it works phenomenally. I almost don't want to talk too much about how bad the pricing is on the pencil, because yes, it's over $100 for this thing, but it is best in class. It's truly amazing how well it works. Like, it actually surprised me. I watched all these videos on it, and actually sitting there and taking notes on it, it really does feel like I'm just taking notes on paper. It works so well. The latency on it is great. There's barely any noticeable latency at all, and when you're actually sitting there and writing on it, you don't notice it, but you're just taking notes. I can take notes as small and as quickly as I need to without any fear of it lagging behind. It actually works really well, where you can actually put it on its side and you can do some shading and like I've used other styluses in the past. I've used the Wacoms, I've used other things, and everything else just sort of works and works well, but not like this. It's really hard to actually describe to you how much better this pencil is than other things. Is it worth over $100 Canadian? Probably not. It's still ridiculously priced, and even by Apple standards, it's ridiculously priced. I am a big Apple fanboy. Everything I own is pretty much Apple at this point, and you know, I've defended their pricing in the past, but I think the pricing of the Apple Pencil and just the existence of the iPad Pro 9.7 inch is just a way to take all of your money. That being said, all of the complaints of the pricing being said, it has worked phenomenally. I have this app called Notability that sort of just takes in all of the notes. I can actually import PDFs, I can import stuff, I can take pictures of notes that I'm handed on paper form, and I can import them all and separate them out by class, and I can write my notes in that. I can actually, one of my classes is actually, if I'm taking notes on my iPad, he actually wants me to send him the notes after class, just to make sure that I'm actually, you know, taking notes and not surfing Facebook on my tablet or whatever. And it's really simple. It takes me 2 seconds out of Notability to finish writing my notes, hit a button, and I've sent him the email with that PDF. It is so good. It works so well. So all of my notes and all of my classes and everything that I do now is on here, and it works great for peace of mind and just for having everything just here. I personally really enjoy doing this. It's actually really phenomenal how much it has improved my organization. And also, as a side note too, because Notability actually works with iCloud, every time I take a note, it is automatically synced to iCloud, and then I can actually access it from my phone, from my computer, from anywhere I am, on whatever I am on, and I will have access to those notes. So I don't really have to worry about losing those notes, or even if I lose the iPad, my notes and everything that I've done stay right there. And I can also annotate stuff that I have written. So actually I'll rewrite some notes in Word, and then if I have to annotate them after the fact, I will actually make notes. Like, anyway, this has just been a ranty sort of review thing, just to let you know that this is actually a really cool way, and if you can afford it, it is really cool, and it actually really works well as a way to really organize how you're taking notes, and then just sort of organize everything together into one central location, and it really works. It's just a real shame that Apple really wants you to buy an iPad Pro 9.7 inch and didn't just add this ability to a new iPad Air. Anyway, that's enough of a ramble for me. Now, yes, of course, I am going to address it. I put up a vlog last week, and if you're gonna go look for it now, don't bother, because I have actually pulled that vlog down. I don't want to be the person that hurts people's feelings with these vlogs. That's never my intention, and sometimes I ramble on and I speak my mind for better or for worse. And I certainly, I hurt a lot of people's feelings in that video, and I am sorry for hurting people's feelings and making them feel worse about themselves. I got both positive and negative feedback from that video, though. It wasn't all negative. There were some very specific people who felt attacked by my last video, and that is why I took it down, because I'm not here to attack people. I'm not here to belittle people or talk down to people. That's not my intention at all. And sometimes I get a little crazy with myself, and and I get a little overexcited and I get a little heated. I'm not going to sit here and take back the things that I said, because I think what I was trying to say, I believe with all of my heart. I believe with all of my heart that we need to have a passion for the things that we're doing. But at the same time, I can't be out here attacking people. So I apologize for those that felt attacked. And also, Rule out there actually gave me some really good feedback about, you know, taking a step back from my point of view in school, and really taking the point of view of people who are just coming into it, and people that are younger, because I am an old cranky man. But I did get a lot of positive feedback about that, and I had a conversation with a person yesterday that just filled me with such joy. You know, he talked about how that when he got his marks back from last semester, that he was really disappointed in himself. He really felt as though that he could do better. And if only he actually applied himself more, he could do so much better. And he took it upon himself to, you know, stop smoking pot. He took it upon himself to really nail in and pay attention to school, and he was saying this, and I'm just like, wow, you know, like, it's just noticing how you're doing and what you're doing and wanting to do better. And if anything comes from this, you know, I'm not here to make friends, I'm not here to make enemies, I'm just here to do, and hopefully to help. And if I can help by becoming somebody's enemy, then I will help by becoming somebody's enemy. If I can help by becoming somebody's friend, I will help by becoming somebody's friend. I don't care which way it goes, but I want everybody to succeed. So anyway, I just wanted to sort of throw that out there as sort of like a, hey, where did the last vlog go? That's weird. Well, yeah, I took it down because at the end of the day, I'm not here to belittle. I'm not here to talk down to people. I'm not here to anger people. That's not my intention. My intention, even if I go about in a super flawed way, in a super shitty way, in a way that makes me out to be an asshole, because I was an asshole in that video, and I take ownership of that. I know I was an asshole in that, but what I was trying to do is inspire people to do better, because I know people can do better. You know, the only reason I get so flustered by people is sometimes because I know they're amazing. I know they're awesome. I can see it. I've seen the things. I've seen the glimmer. I've seen the passion. I've seen everything, and then suddenly, and then it's gone. If I can inspire somebody to push and to be awesome and to be better than who they are now, I'm okay with that. And if that means they have to hate me, so be it. It's just do great things with your time. Do great things with your time. Anyway, I'm getting into it again. I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. Oh my God. I need to stop getting in front of microphones. This was supposed to be a review of the iPad. I told myself, anyway. Peace out, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you next week for another super amazing blog of awesomeness or something.